The woman never expected that the useless ex-boyfriend she personally killed in the underground dungeon 3 years ago would suddenly reappear as a level -9999 max out powerhouse, and to take revenge on them, Jack even prepared an entire grand show just for her. After receiving Jack's death invitation, Sasha fell into a state of uncontrollable urgency. Back then, she should have witnessed Jack's death with her own eyes, and now look, right before her wedding with the vice-captain of the White Knight Order, he came back to ruin everything. To keep her engagement from falling apart, Sasha decided to head to the Great Tower and check things out, but on the way, she happened to run into a guy whose build looked exactly like Jack. Sasha quickly stopped him, and violently knocked off his mask, but underneath it was a face severely burned. Good thing Jack had prepared a backup plan, or the whole operation would have gone down the drain. Still uneasy, Sasha planned to go to the Great Tower herself. If Jack really was alive, she had to personally cut off this cursed past. She couldn't let him ruin her bright future. Jack put his mask back on. All they needed to do now was head to the Great Tower as adventurers. As adventurers, they could use this incident to raise their ranking, but the real goal was to get back inside the tower and wait for Sasha to come find him. At this moment, 2 elf adventurers were following behind, the same 2 who had picked a fight last time. Jack kindly warned them not to follow, but of course they ignored him, a mere human daring to humiliate them publicly. They were determined to settle that debt. Jack told his subordinates to handle it. In an instant, the 2 were wiped out. After that, more of Jack's subordinates appeared one after another to greet him. They could hardly wait to contribute to Jack's revenge plan. All Jack had to do was give the word, and they would charge into fire and blades for him. Then they set off toward the Great Tower, soon led by his subordinates. They reached the area near the Great Tower. Then they entered the tower. The interior layout was incredibly grand, and inside was even a massive dragon. Ellie summoned Beast. This dragon would be used to draw attention. Ellie teleported everyone to a room on the top floor. Jack returned to his throne. Next, Ellie would explain the main steps of this revenge plan against Sasha. First was to crush Sasha's fantasy of marrying into nobility. This part was already arranged. She would personally destroy her own happiness inside the tower. This incident would also become the key to raising Jack's adventurer ranking. Finally, there was the comparison of strength between Niflheim and the surface. The White Knight Order of the Elf Kingdom would be the perfect test subjects, even though everyone from Niflheim had a massive level advantage, with no real combat experience. There was still some hesitation. Those 3 main points were the core of this revenge plan. Jack was very satisfied, but he was curious. How were they going to lure the White Knight Order into the tower? Ellie assured him it was all under control. At that moment, Sasha had arrived alone near the tower, and saw the dragon Ellie had prepared. Just as Ellie predicted, she reported this to her fiancé, the vice-captain of the White Knight Order. The upper ranks were shocked upon hearing the news. A tower appearing near the kingdom was one thing, but a swarm of high-level monsters strong enough to flatten the country. And according to reliable information, Jack's adventurer team had also reported this incident to the guild. So the situation was clearly real. As the kingdom's strongest force, the White Knight Order would never allow monsters to threaten their nation, so they would definitely come to the tower to slay the dragon. And once they arrived, it would be the perfect moment to compare Niflheim's power with that of the surface. As some of Niflheim's top-tier fighters, they would not disappoint Jack. They would cut down those inferior elves and let them witness the terror of Niflheim. Just as Ellie predicted, the White Knight Order did show up, and judging by their appearance, they were quite confident. They carefully approached the tower and saw several thousand level monsters wandering nearby. They could defeat them easily, but since their real target was the dragon, they used decoys to lure the monsters away. To avoid wasting stamina, once the monsters moved off, the captain activated his silent step skill and led the team quickly to the tower entrance. But just as they were about to sneak in, a teleportation magic circle suddenly appeared on the ground.